57.6 billion naira SUVs. You are insensitive, Nigerians slam lawmakers. Hello everyone, welcome to newsspottv. Unnecessary waste of resources, says the Labour Party chairman. Populace can't afford food, languishing in abject poverty. Ezekwesili and Uwazurike. They are official. The vehicles are officials, they are not for personal use, National Assembly spokesperson says. These are some of the comments that prominent Nigerians have slammed the government as regards the 160 million naira each SUVs to be given to lawmakers. Nigerians have continually slammed the national legislators who received Prado SUV vehicles totaling 57.6 billion naira at a time when the government claims it cannot afford to raise the minimum wage of 30,000 naira monthly to workers. Worryingly, the vehicle fund could have been borrowed at a time when most Nigerians go to bed hungry. With a bag of 50 kg rice now costing 50,000 naira, many people have criticized the National Assembly's action as not only evil, but also selfish and callous. Members of the National Assembly's two arms, the Senate and the House of Representatives, began receiving their brand new 2023 model Toyota Land Cruisers on October 16th. It was discovered that female parliamentarians were given first priority in the distribution of the vehicles, with 12 of them having received theirs, while principal officers of the two houses are expected to be the last to receive theirs. Recall that the National Assembly leadership announced plans to purchase 109 2023 Toyota Land Cruiser models for senators and 360 2023 Toyota Prado models for members of the House of Representatives. This news has sparked outrage and criticisms amongst Nigerians who believe that the act of the government and legislators at a time when people are preaching prudence in governance are not only selfish but also evil and incompatible with the economy. They claim that this is the same government that is still traveling the world with a loan in hand. As things stand, inflation is on track to reach 30% by December 2023, but the government is only concerned with the comfort of a fortunate few who have found themselves in positions of power. The former Minister of Education, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and the chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, were the first two Nigerians to condemn the national legislators. Mrs. Ezekwesili chastised the National Assembly's leadership for purchasing over 400 new automobiles for members, claiming that such purchases were made at the expense of meeting the basic needs of their citizens and driven on dangerous roads to impress their hungry citizens. She said on Twitter that the growing number of families in the country that are financially troubled and unable to afford basic needs such as food, school fees, healthcare, and housing is heartbreaking. On a normal day now, as a pastor's family, we are seeing an increase in the number of distress calls from people all over the country who are desperate for help. Worse, previously steady families are now confronted with financial troubles. We now heave a collective sigh of relief when my husband, Pastor Chinedu, and I have exhausted our monthly ability to help others. It has a significant impact on us. It's terrible to observe how the country struggles to meet basic needs like food, school fees, healthcare, and shelter. And we are not alone in this. Many people are suffering from the misery of having too many people they cannot help, no matter how hard they try. The best assistance Nigerians or citizens may receive is from a government that works on fundamental changes that spark economic growth, because retail assistance is merely a stopgap in the hierarchy of social safety nest. Should it even be that what keeps these ostensibly political leaders awake at night? No, their main priority is to be seen in a new Toyota SUV purchased at the price of satisfying their inhabitants' fundamental needs and driven on dangerous roads in order to impress their hungry citizens. I have a message from the Lord for you this morning. Because you are all deaf, you will undoubtedly learn the hard way someday soon. You all had your audacity to spend scarce public resources on luxury cars at a time the majority of your citizens cannot feed, transport themselves, pay school fees and hospital bills due to cost of living. She wrote via her Twitter page. The Labour Party did not only condemn the acquisition of the vehicles by the legislators, but asked its elected members in the House of Representatives to kick against official vehicles given. Chairman of the party, Julius Abure, in a statement in Abuja, called on the Labour Party legislators in the 10th Assembly to kick against this unnecessary wastage of resources in line with the ideology of the party, which is social justice and equity for all. However, in a statement, Abure said a few days ago, the news filtered that 360 members of the House of Assembly are to be gifted with vehicles worth about 160 million each. The Labour Party is indeed shocked, saddened and disappointed at the level of insensitivity being displayed by the executive and the legislative arms of the President Bola Tinubu-led All Progressive Congress administration. It is saddening that with deepening poverty among Nigerians, the administration has decided to increase its appetite for a life of opulence to mock hardworking but privileged Nigerians. How else can any government justify the bloated Federal Executive Council of 48 cabinet members, with each of them giving 3 luxurious 4-wheel drive vehicles on the first day in office, paid for and fueled by taxpayers? This is notwithstanding hundreds of presidential and ministerial aids, as well as numerous aids to the aides who are being funded by the government. These vehicles will be costing Nigerians about 57.6 billion naira, and this is happening at a time when the government claims it cannot afford to increase the minimum wage of 30,000 naira monthly to workers. A bag of 50 kg rice is today 50,000 naira, and most families can't afford 2 square meals a day. How insensitive can a government become? This same government is still going around the world, cap in hand, seeking loans. What a shame. As things stand today, inflation is likely to hit 30% by December 2023. Yet all they are concerned about is the comfort of a privileged few who found themselves in public office, Abure emphasized. Chief Jerry Obasi, a former governorship candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA in Ebonyi State, said the idea of buying 360 SUVs for House of Representatives members is regrettable and demonstrates insensitivity to the situations of Nigeria. He stated that because Nigerians are suffering from the economic hardship, the common expectations for people elected to represent them include sacrifice rather than immorality. Obasi noted that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is heard canvassing economic revival but is seen damaging the economy through the window. It is insensitive to spend tens of billions of naira on this Father Christmas show while the rest of Nigerians are wallowing in poverty. Perhaps all it needs to do is curry the favor of the legislative branch and coax them into line. Yes, we have allies in the House, but Nigeria should not be offered as a sacrifice to anyone. Consider the fuel situation. Refineries are not operating. I believe this government is on the decline, he remarked. According to Bonaya Timothy, a People Democratic Party chieftain, the action amounts to theft of cash, which will have a major negative influence on the nation's economy. Where a pint of garri is 1,200, a sachet of water goes to 50 naira each. He explains that spending such a large amount of money on an SUV for a small number of Nigerians without questioning the impact on the welfare of those they represent is risky. The Nigerian economic condition should concern everyone and should be prioritized over the pleasure of a few, he remarked. According to Adewale Adeoye, Executive Director of Journalists for Democratic Rights, JODR, and Femi Aborishade, a legal practitioner, parliamentarians must be careful not to destabilize Nigeria and must be sensitive to the situation of Nigerians. Aborishade condemned the plan to acquire cars worth roughly 200 million naira for each member of the House of Representatives. His words, at a time when the federal government is imposing economic hardship by removing subsidies that have driven up the cost of living in an unprecedented way, the same federal government is increasing the privileges of members of the ruling class. It should be noted that the federal government only recently offered a palliative gift of 70 billion naira to federal MPs. All of this indicates that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration governs in the interest of members of the ruling class rather than the well-being of regular people. Additionally, increasing privileges come at the expense of increasing foreign loans with high interest rates. There is no economic rationale for such misdirected spending that caters to the ruling class's avarice, while the masses languish in subject poverty. A regime that claims it has no money to fund education, a regime that has allowed an increase in tertiary school fees, a government that claims it has no money to pay a living wage, and so on, should not be so callous as to buy luxury cars for legislators. According to Godi Nwazurike, a Lagos-based lawyer, the economic implications are enormous, and Nigeria's working class is still reeling from the shock of the increase in petrol prices, the inadequacy of the current wage structure, and the federal government's never-ending dribbling of the NLC. Nigerians have been opposing the All Progressive Congress APC's weaponization of poverty since 2015. Currently, production has reduced substantially as a result of Nigerians' troubles getting to work. Nwazurike added that the country is still suffering from economic degradation to the point where the naira value is falling into the abyss. Now, the same APC government that advocated for restructuring is raising the cost of governance. Make no mistake, the newly appointed members of the administration, like the legislators, will be rewarded with luxurious SUVs. While Comrade Femi Lawson, National Secretary, Campaign for Democracy, chastised National Assembly members for being insensitive to Nigerians' plight, Chief Abayomi Kuye, a People's Democratic Party (PDP) chieftain and former member of the party's Southwest Caretaker Committee, claims that the All Progressive Congress APC is leading a clueless government at the executive and legislative arms of government at the national level. In an interview with the Saturday Independent, Lawson stated, "They are buying the latest model of Toyota Land Cruiser for members of the National Assembly. Members of the House of Representatives and several senators are involved. As I speak with you, we've confirmed from reliable sources that several members have already received vehicles from the location, and ordinary people are being forced to tighten their belts at a time when the country's economy is fluttering. At a time when the country has just removed subsidies from the single product from which Nigeria benefits, billions of naira are being spent on luxury by members." Chief Kuye, on his part, said he is not surprised by the National Assembly members' action since the APC government is ignorant. This government is clueless, insensitive, and offers Nigerians nothing. It is a riotous government. What do you expect from a National Assembly that is dominated by a party that has appointed over 178? This morning, a dollar is worth more than 1,100 naira. As a result, everyone in the National Assembly is working on their own. They do not speak for the majority, Kuye stated. Reacting to the issue, House spokesperson and chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Akin Rotimi, said in a statement in Abuja, "It is important to make a few clarifications. The vehicles to be allocated to the offices of members are utility operational vehicles, tied to their oversight functions in the discharge of their duties in the standing committees. They are not personal vehicles gifted to honorable members." However, Ogbonaya Timothy, on the other hand, claimed that the justification is a sham and that the executive arm of government should also be blamed for riding in the journey of reckless insensitivity. This is despotism, this is recklessness. According to Mr. Adeoye of Jordan, Nigeria would only recover from the enormous cost of governance if it demonstrates more fiscal discipline, battles corruption, and cleans up the Central Bank of Nigeria. Okay, so those are the comments from Nigerians. Obviously, it is very insensitive that lawmakers could be given vehicles worth almost 200 million naira each, totaling 57.6 billion naira, where the minimum wage issue is yet to be addressed in the midst of hyper inflation and the impact of the fuel subsidy removal that has set many businesses out of operation, school fees on the increase, and just drawing people down, further down the ladder of poverty. What's your opinion? Please drop it in the comment section. May God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.